What's going on, everybody? It's the Mike and Rico show. We're doing the Miami game recap, and my goodness, do we have a treat. Not only do we have 59, the trench monster, NEEFY Moffett coming back, breaking down the ones and twos on the defensive line. We've got an FSU legend in the house, ladies and gentlemen, number 88, KEZ McCorvey, old school, coming in, breaking down, giving us the real deal knowledge, national champion. It's a treat to have you, KEZ. We spoke briefly before this, but again, I want to reiterate, this is a real treat to have not only NEEFY again, but to have you for the first time. Gentlemen, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good about the show. Happy about the show, man. It's Gator week, and I got to hear all this crap. My homeboys went to Florida, and all the fans. I got to hear all their mouth all week, man.
Yeah.
Great too as well, man. Excited about this week too as well, just for the guys to get a chance to be in that experience, you know, and we get a little bit older, you know, your friends don't talk trash anymore. We just happen to be around, so you know, you just.
I hear that, Mike. How are you feeling this week?
I'm good. Obviously, this is everyone has a different view of how they look at Florida when they played. This is the game that I was always, when I was a young kid. I'm born and raised in Tallahassee. This was the game you had to win. Like, this kind of signified what you were as your team. When I was growing up, Florida would beat them every year. You know, even when I was in the high school years, and then finally you got to the 80s and you started seeing FSU beat them. So this is a school where Florida called you the girls' school, all this stuff. They didn't really give you any respect. They wouldn't even play Florida State at Florida State. So this is big and personal when you play, Florida, because it's not like the Miami one where it's the big brother. You play them every year, or little brother, whatever way you want to look at it. It's like it's pure hatred towards Florida. Like, it's pure, we don't like anything these guys do. So it's exciting. I can't wait. I'm very confident in everyone they have in there. Their quarterback, even Tate, I'm very confident in what Tate does. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, this week we are playing Florida, but this breakdown is going to be about the Miami game. Had a huge game a few days ago, and Noles come out victorious. Game was maybe a little tighter than we wanted it to be. A couple things happened during the course of the game. So we're going to pull up our condensed game here and just start breaking this thing down and see what happened. We did get the win over Miami. It's third year in a row, if I'm not mistaken. And that in itself is pretty special, gents. So we'll start right now. The way we're going to run it is, you guys see something you want to break down and talk about, we'll do that. Here is the kickoff.
Miami leads the All-Star Series 35-32.
This was a heck of an environment, man. We've got Doak back to where it's supposed to be looking. There's Deuce Spann coming through. Nice kickoff. I'd like to see him not battle so much. That's when that ball comes out. First play from scrimmage offensively here.
Look like mesh there, and they love that little play there with the tailback, and the linebacker goes over the mesh. They get a chance to throw that behind him, and if he goes under the mesh, they get a chance to throw the wheel route up the sideline. So that's the favorite.
We'll go back and break that one down here. Okay, so here we are right here. Here's the 1st and 10 that you're talking about, KEZ. So what are we looking at for alignment right here?
Well, I mean, first of all, this is what you see right here. When it goes in motion right here, what you see is everybody's covered down, right? So you see possibility of man-to-man. And so that gives you an opportunity to know that you're going to get somebody chasing the wheel route. It's going to be a guy from the line of scrimmage that's peeling, or it's going to be a linebacker that's going over the top. So to the boundary over there. So you see the linebacker, he'll go over the top, and when he goes over the top, the quarterback knows I'm going to throw it low. If he was to try to get up underneath that, he would throw it high. So they actually kind of traded off, and so Jordan gets it out there and able to hit that. So this is kind of a staple that they like to do with the tailback and that wheel route.
Yeah, that was a nice start. I see what you're saying there. There's a lot of congestion there, able to kind of free that up. So here's a 3rd and 9. We've got Jordan back here, a lot of pressure. Line kind of seeps through. Gets a completion here, but we're short of the sticks here to Johnny. Nice job coming back and catching that ball. What do you think of Johnny Wilson so far this season, KEZ?
I think he's gotten better. That first game was kind of tough for him, and it was a lot of psychological stuff that was. It seemed like he was struggling just catching the ball, confidence, those type of things, and then he seems to have come back. Outside of the injuries, he seems to have come back. I want to see him catch a couple more deep balls. That's why I hope a couple posts and some other things breaks away from the. That's my hope for him is to see that. And I haven't seen that necessarily this year. A lot of curl routes, a lot of dig routes, and he's impossible to stop on a dig route. Impossible. If he gets leverage on you and you put the ball in his body, he's so big. It's like playing Shaq on the low post and you 5'11". It's impossible.
NEEFY, is that good enough when we got him down there on the 2-yard line?
Nah, man, we won't tackle for losses. We want the ball on the other side, man. Like when it's on the 2-yard line, we want to score as a defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got him here at the 2. We got him pinned. Great job, special teams. Gets the ball down there. Phenomenal job by special team coverage team getting it down to the 2. And we've got a chance to really sink our teeth in here. And here's our first play. What do you see in here, NEEFY?
I see the defensive line. They look lax to me. Like, I get it. I understand it. It's a new game. But it's like, this is blood in the water, man. We got to make them pay.
Well, fire off here. Farmer gets pushed back darn near to the 4. Guys rally up pretty good, but you're talking about a 3-yard gain right there on first down. Now it gives them a little breathing room. They're out there to the 6. They end up punted, so we get the ball back here. This is where Trey Benson here has gotten a lot of criticism here. KEZ, I don't know. What are your feelings about Trey Benson as far as hitting the hole? I've got a kind of a range of opinions. And then NEEFY, as a defensive lineman, when you see a running back with that kind of running style, do you like it, love it, or are you weary of it?
I'm weary of it because it keeps the block, and we have to destroy the blocker. So it keeps you can't look. You got to try to destroy the blocker, and he's really just playing off of you. So I hate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right here. Just the contour of the defense is really causing this right here. They're really playing like a rat cover 1. And what they do is they get an extra guy in the block. That's not an extra guy that doesn't come down and make a tackle, but you get a chance to you got an extra guy sitting outside the guy, so he can't bounce it. He can't, and they got yards because they got really good push up the middle. But they didn't have a lane for him to skirt through because of the way they were playing defense. They were playing heavy inside with the defensive line, so you get a chance to pack it all inside on the inside run, and then you don't get the opportunity to bounce it as well. So really, that's a great play for what they had and what they were going against.
Now, KEZ, I have a question. I'm hoping that you guys can see the arrow. Can you guys see the arrow here on the screen? Okay, I have a question. I don't have a ton of experience on offense. I was on the other side. Right here, this run ends up going, it looks like a gap left side in between the center and the left guard. When I look at this, if there was an ability to check a run and check to the outside, when we've got a body out here, right? Yeah. We have an extra body. If we could switch this, he could pivot to his right, hand this ball off tackle. Yeah. Then if we could space him out just a little bit, get him on the outside of that hash there, I feel like there's a lot of room up here, and they've already given the linebacker this hash. KEZ, do we have those checks? Is that something that we have in our offense, and is it something that we could do?
Well, if you put a lot of pressure on the quarterback to have to go and make those decisions right there, especially when you're going fast too as well. Because most teams that are going fast don't necessarily have that option unless it's a check with me, and then the coach is checking that, right? And so you're right. We have a numbers advantage up top with a deficit at the bottom, but I don't know if he has the options to see that. Now, can Trey see that? I don't know. I don't know if you get a chance to do that because again, you go so fast, you don't have the option to be able to make those adjustments, especially when you're going fast, no huddle, that type of thing.
Looks like he's looking right at it. Yeah.
Well, the problem is there's a release. I think Morlock's there, and this guy releases, Mike. That's what it looks like. He looked like he was going to do that.
Yep. He shifted the last minute.
Okay.
Well, usually what happens if that end pinches down, guess what? You have the option of pulling that and replacing him, right? So I didn't see an end over there, so I didn't know exactly what their read was on that deal.
Get the first down, big fella. Pass to Marquise and Douglas there. Jordan could have run it. It felt like all year. I mean, obviously we know we've got an injury to Jordan now, but it just felt like there was a lot of plays. This one's to the house.
Yeah,
except he stepped out.
that was an incredible play by Trey. A lot of that was on Trey. If you rewind it back, a lot of that was on Trey because Jordan almost waited too long to pitch it, and then Trey made the guy miss, and he unfortunately stepped out of bounds. But I mean, he made an incredible play on that on several DBs, and that's just
Trey's speed in the open field is really impressive for a bigger guy, 215, 220 pound back. He can really get moving. They take that one off the board, wide open. Marquiston's having a great series here. 2 catches, 1 for a first down. Just wide open out there, ton of space. All right, now we're getting down here to the red zone, tight zone. KEZ, we're on the left hash, got a lot of space up here at the top. Got somebody on the hash here and somebody right on top of the numbers. Looks like Johnny. And then we've got Keon, not necessarily 101 because that safety can probably get over there. What are you looking at here?
You see man-to-man right there. You see up the top, you got press man at the top, and you get off man on the slot up there. And then so you got man. It's man across the board right there. And so they're probably I don't know if they're going to send pressure, but it's definitely man. And so you're really looking for a 3-step and get the ball at your hand quickly you can, fade routes, slant routes, stuff like that. You don't have pressure, so you got a chance to get the ball down the field. And so that's what you would hope to have called during this particular play. Your best player shot down the field to win to get a score.
Let's see what we do here. Come middle of the field.
Yep.
Jaheim Bell.
Nice play.
Yep.
Yeah, they use Jaheim a lot on that. If you watch a lot of their slip underneath routes. KEZ, what do you think about his route running when you watch Jaheim?
Get in there, Trey. Nice job.
I like this, especially for a big guy. I thought he's a hybrid, and I like his route running ability to cut, because he's quicker than most tight ends. And he's he looked like a fullback hybrid almost.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then
so Noles come down.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, then you got Trey banging it in. So I think that was a really big deal just to get some early points. NEEFY knows how much that is in this rivalry. When you get the early points, it really can set the tone.
NEEFY, I don't think you're gonna like the push we're getting here. 2 plays in a row. It doesn't look like we're getting a whole lot of push. It's gonna come back around here. That's obviously Trey's touchdown there. So we kick the ball off 1st and 15, and that right side there, we're not really getting the penetration. What are we doing wrong here?
I think he's muted.
Bad. Look like we're doing a lot of hopping around and pinballing. Like, I mean, we have somebody double teaming on the edge, so we need somebody to replace the edge. Like that's major. With somebody else coming around, we have to protect our edge.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's happening here. So it's an immediate handoff. Got a freshman, Emory Williams, in there. Okay, the ball's handed off. We recognize it here. So the edge replacement's got to come between one of these 2 guys right here because our end is gummed up and getting a seal block. So one of these guys has to go outside shoulder and blow this up. And then this guy's got to fill in off of him as I'm seeing it. It didn't happen. I mean, he got to the outside, but not before they got 7-8 yards. That's tough on 1st and 15. Now 2nd and 7. Still not really getting a push, particularly in the middle. Our tackles were kind of getting shoved around a little bit at the beginning of this game. And that's just really bad tackling.
Yep.
Yeah, they ran this in the end of the game too. Double slants, double slants, and it was a decent route.
Got to make that tackle, Noles. That's your tackle. And then we're just out here just kind of whiffing out there. KEZ in the defensive backfield. We're just trying to shoot at him, missing. Come on, Shaheem.
I know what Nick Andrews would say. He would say, "You got to run. You got to keep your feet."
Huge play. Huge play. I'll tell you what. He is a phenomenal blitzer. We really need him on Saturday. Really need him to suit up, and I think he will.
He has great timing. And then he's fast. I don't know if you guys seen it, but he is fast. He's a fast linebacker, and
He
he is
is.
late blitzes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that was just a huge play right there because Miami was driving, and that was a huge play.
yeah, Kalen's from Savannah. He played like running back, kick returner, all these things in high school. So as you can see with his speed, I mean that's always been his calling card. And then
Watch
now his game's just come around all around.
now. Watch this bend right here. Now he's coming right through the A gap right here, right through the hole. Watch how he shifts his body weight to the right when Emery tries to deke him a little bit. Watch this. Boom, right there. That's pretty elite. The most linebackers don't have that quick twitch where he's able to hone in on him. Man, that's almost like a lion on a gazelle there. That's great linebacking. They end up missing the field goal, so now here we go. We're trying to run the ball here to start this off. Trey is running extremely physical on 2nd and 8. 3rd and 1, we got to execute, KEZ.
Yeah.
And we do.
Yeah, we do, but they're scared. They were doing a good job of not letting us have any double teams, right? Their linebackers were reading fast, and they were coming downhill, forcing us to get off that double team.
Nice ball.
Great.
Nice catch.
There you go,
Yeah.
Kez. That's kind of one you can elaborate on. You ran a lot of those slants. What did you see on that route?
Johnny does a great job of getting inside leverage right there. And once he gets inside leverage right, and then bending it back in, it's hard to stop him. And so I think they ran it's a run. It was a called run, but it's RPO. Linebacker steps up, and then now we know he's going to pull it, and he's not going to throw this slant, this dig route or basically a slant route to Johnny behind him. And then Johnny's got inside leverage right there. Once you're in that position right there, it's almost impossible to stop Johnny from having body presence for the slant route.
Yeah, we got a 12th defender here. So Jordan's got to spin it around the zebra here. And he manages to do it. Great ball.
Yeah.
In between a lot of canes. That's a heck of a completion there by Jordan.
I've told Rico many times, Kez, I mean, tackling Johnny is like trying to tackle a giraffe.
Yeah.
Like he is, I mean, it's so unique in having a guy that tall. You know.
So we're through the first quarter now. 10-0. Good start. NEEFY, I got to slow this down again. What are we doing here on the line? I mean, we just not getting any push.
Yeah, and that the DN up top, he played the screen, and then the offensive line opened up that hole for him. And then they got numbers on the other side, so now they're just working their way up, giving them too much space.
We're not able to get off this block right here on this guard. Center looked like he went and he doubled Farmer, and this is 1v1, and we just can't seem to get off that block, and he comes right through there. Great gain. I mean, on 1st and 10, they're banging 5 yards. That's tough. You'd like to see us be able to here's a screen right here. Yep, this one's out the gate. It's one of the most difficult things to defend, and it's like it's coming. If you get 2nd or 3rd in long down and distance, anything over 12 to 15 yards, it's almost like you have to know a screen's coming. As a defensive lineman, NEEFY, how do you stay disciplined to still do your job, but keep in the back of the mind that a screen's likely coming?
You just got to read your keys, man. Like the linemen take you to the screen. Like there are very few people that get sacks on screens. The first person goes free, everybody else retrace. Everybody's looks like everybody's racing to be the first person, and nobody wants to retrace.
Yeah, and they end up getting it over the top. And at this point now, I mean, this is what you want for a screen, especially if you've got some of this tunnel action coming up the hash here. I mean, we've got Turner, Farmer, Elber. We've got 3 D linemen that are, behind the ball carrier, and then we've got 2 guys out of position here. I mean, it's really just Akeem Dent versus 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen. So this is going to be out the gate. Great play call. We didn't execute it. From a defensive standpoint, and this is out the gate. Long first down. That's a killer right there. Man, you'd really like to see us stuff that for maybe a 5-yard gain, get off the field, and then hopefully get the ball, go up 17-0. Didn't happen. Good job. Good execution by Miami here. All right, 3rd and 9. Got to get off the field. And we do. Once again, there's that man. It's everywhere. All right, what do we got here? 3rd and 9, NEEFY, pass rush wise. What are we looking for here?
I mean, really just maintaining pass lanes. It looks like we ran a couple stunts, which made them step up, and we had somebody sitting in the hole to fill it.
Boom.
Kalen's
Yeah, the
reading.
timing. KEZ, you mentioned the timing of Deloach. Look how he comes across here. His timing is excellent.
Yeah, and what happened on that deal? He had the back, so it's 2-man. He had the back. The back stayed in the block, so now he gets a chance to have a free rush on the quarterback because the back stayed in the block. And so it's just the opportunity to play for him just because his responsibility stayed in, which gave him the opportunity to now go get the quarterback.
We talked about this, Mike, with Coach Adam Fuller's defense. Coach Adam Fuller took a lot of heat first couple years in. Defense has progressed substantially in every year he's been there. And when he first got there, he had a lot of younger players, and it was really rough. Spent a little bit of time with Coach this spring in the camp season and spent some time in the film room. And NEEFY, he runs a really intricate defense. There's a lot of checks. There's a lot of thinking going on. And you can see the progression. And it makes sense now that we're much better defensively because Deloach is a cerebral player. Not only is he an excellent linebacker, excellent tackling, and has phenomenal timing on blitzes, but he's a thinker. Like you brought up a great point, KEZ, because he knows that he's also got back responsibility. But if the back stays in there and commits to a block, he now knows he's free. And I think that's the difference between what we had in, say, 22, 21, is now we've got guys who are a third year in the defense, and they're thinking, and they're able to make plays like that. And it's the difference between winning and losing ball games.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's really good, as you mentioned, Rico, but I don't think people understand like the adjustments he makes when he does at halftime. If you watch a lot of these runs that you'll see that we haven't even shown, the A gaps are really, really bad. And he fixes where you're supposed to be. He puts his players in position to make plays. And then, as NEEFY pointed out, there's things that players have to do to make the play. And so that's what he does. I mean, he's very good at setting you to a position of where you need to be.
Yeah,
This was a nice little play here, getting your guy in space. Man, we whiffed up top, man. I'm glad Jordan didn't take a lick here.
That could have been a much bigger play if Jaheim sticks to the right.
Yeah, he's they're running this. This is actually a unique little play. It's like a counter screen. So he fakes the counter. It comes across like he's gonna block the end, bluffs him a little bit, and then the line pull out in front of him, and now he's running. And I agree with you. I watched this play live during the game. I thought to myself, go to the right, go to the right.
Yeah, that's like a 40, 50-yard play if you go to the right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess regardless, it's a nice game to start the drive. It looked like we're rolling, and then got another 1st and 10 here. Still up 10-0. At this point, we still got the game in control. You know, things are still looking nice. That does not look nice. What in the world? What in the world is going on here on this play?
Tackle just got ate up.
Yeah, and then it's the pass to the tackle miss. The guy usually that counter you go up underneath that block and you get that guy will miss you, but for some kind of reason he closed so fast to where he got underneath the kick out block.
Yeah, Washington just completely whiffed.
Darius couldn't get out there quick enough. Like he was just couldn't pull fast. Man. Couldn't pull fast enough. Great play by 59. You know, it's not, it's stuff that FSU needs to get better, but that's just a great play too by their player.
This seemed kind of like a tentative call, guys. 2nd and 13. I mean, you can't expect to get more than 5-6 yards on that run. You're setting up a 3rd and 7 at best. That seemed like a real tentative call. It looked like we wanted to do a screen here. We do.
A little late.
That was a rough series there. After a good gain on 1st down, that was a rough series.
Let me say this right here too, as well too. Just on 1st and 2nd down, 1st down primarily, you have man-to-man coverage right there. You probably could take a shot, and then you can tell. To me, you can tell that Miami they were playing for the run to try to get us into 3rd down and long situations. Right. So, but. And then they got us. They got us on the counter, and then now they have their play ahead, and then they get us on the next play. Now they're 2 plays ahead, and now they got us where they want us, and to run zone or exotics on 3rd and long.
Watch this play here. Maurice Smith, the center. If he just gets off just a little bit quicker, watch how this opens up. Right, get off now. and he's still looking this way, but his responsibility is to come up here and grab this DB here. If he gets here a little quicker, this might have been a really big play, right? If he can get there and Ja'Kai can cut up through here, we've got Johnny coming back cracking. We've got Toa Philly could possibly crack. If he could have got off this could have came right up here and been a pretty big play.
Yeah, definitely could have been a good play.
It felt like it was a little slow as far as when the ball was supposed to be there, where the route was, and then Miami kind of had it set up pretty good. So,
Neef, what are we doing? And no outside leverage too? Yikes.
Missing tackles, not running our feet. Like, my goodness.
Oh, Lundy, come on, man. Yeah, this was a problem all day.
yeah.
2nd and 4 here, big down, right? 2nd and 4, if you stuff them, give up a yard or two, you set up a big 3rd down. They've got a freshman quarterback. It's going to be a lot of pressure to execute. That's right in that area where you may not call a run. They may try to run some type of play action pass or some type of quick pass. You could, bump and run coverage. But we just can't knock them into 3rd down in negotiable situations here. We're lined up here. We've got 5 on the line, 3 down linemen, 2 stand-ups, and we've got 2 backers here. We're going against 5 linemen here. I mean, you've got a tight end offset and you've got a back. Just not seeing the push that you want to see, Neef. Are we late here, filling?
Yeah.
Looked like we both went to the same spot, too. Yeah, we did. We both tried to go inside. And 5's got to step up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. Just Neef, you said it before with flat backs and just really powering off the ball. We just didn't seem to bring the physicality.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 4 here.
I mean, that grade of basketball, that grade of football is just, it's like it's leaving.
Now this one here, this is bothersome here. I mean, this is where quarterbacks get a lot of confidence right here. I think this was a big part of the game because at this point now, Emory Williams really settled down and got confidence. We're 10-0. Defensively, as much as we've kind of talked about and pointed out some of the lack of execution, we still have a lot of great things that we're looking at here. Here's 3rd and 4. When the freshman quarterback's taking off for a scramble on 3rd and 4, I mean, I'm not saying hit him dirty within the rules, but you got to light him up. It didn't happen here. He kind of brought the noise to us.
Yeah, I think he ran over Conrad on that play. Didn't go through the rim tackle, and he absorbed the tackle, to put it that way.
Yeah, so we had 2 wide rushes. He steps up in the pocket. NEEFY, how can we fix this when we get a wide rush? How can we prevent this escape here?
I mean, it's always going to be an open gap. It's always going to be an open gap. So we just got to condense the gaps, press the pocket. So when you got to put that tackle into that hole so that he can't go in there.
All right, Verse comes real wide, kind of gravitates towards the back there. Big conversion for Miami there. Would have been a great stop. We didn't get it. And then now we bounce outside and a huge run here. And they're cooking. 3rd and 4 had a chance to get off the field. And then now their offense is really cooking, getting confident.
I got to go grab my charger. I'll be right back.
Yeah, this was a big play. Right at the end of the first half.
A lot of that's what I talked about, Rico, the filling your gaps, and they were in the wrong space as far as filling your gaps. You saw that with a lot of these runs. This is just one of them they had in the 2nd quarter. They had several like this with Fletcher, and then this is one with I think Charles. So they're just not filling the right way.
Got to get off here.
Yeah.
Got to get off here and fill this. And we've got our back turn there. Safety, we're back here. I mean, we are back here making s'mores. I mean, we got nothing going on. You've seen the handoff. We've got to get up here, get into this play quicker.
Yeah.
Where we're late. And, not great run defense.
That play too as well. You saw them actually miss the hole. They had a free guy coming to the front side, but he bounced. He came out. He went out the back door.
Yep. Same thing. Their guy that's not filling the right place.
I feel like, and guys, you tell me what you think. I feel like when we're rushing from the outside, we're not tracking off the tackle's hips.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend to be an expert pass rusher, but I feel like you have to. It's almost like a screen in basketball. You can't set it loose. Like you got to get up in there. You got to pin your foot, and you got to come off it shoulder to shoulder. And I feel like it's like we're trying to avoid the tackle so much that we're running wider. And if you look, all these runs and these quarterback kind of draws are coming right up underneath the rush and the pressure.
Well,
Here it is again.
Well, look at the backside right there. You know, one guy has the tailback and one guy has the quarterback right there.
Right.
And the guy that's coming underneath, he gets ate up by the kick block right there, and so he needed to come underneath that guy wrong shoulder, and the other guy would end up having the quarterback. And so all that we obviously didn't get that, but you got two guys in the backside gap right there. Once you have the quarterback, the other one should have the running back and wrong shoulder that kick block by the tight end.
It just feels like we got enough hats to really stuff this, and this ends up being a huge play for Miami. Got Lundy here in the middle. Got to do a better job seeing it. Gets gummed up in the middle there.
Yep.
And, I mean, Conrad does a decent job tracking him, keeping him out of the end zone, and then it takes him down out of bounds there. I don't think they called that.
We got washed. Watch how we get washed down here. Oh, it was stunt, and that's why. We stunned it into it. And now we got non-traditional spillers on that have to spill, and they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Right there.
That's right there. Yeah.
And then he's way upfield. This is what I'm talking about, the angles, though. Like, Brian Turner comes way angled out, and so we don't get here. He's got to spill this to the outside. He kind of takes the outside, and then this back is able to come up underneath it. See, like if he spills that to the inside, if he takes that, I guess, the left shoulder as you're looking at it, and he spills that inside, Turner is wide, but instead he goes outside shoulder. I know it's a big old human being that you're running into, but if you spill that inside, you force the back outside to where we've got the extra body. He spills out, or he goes outside shoulder. Back comes. This is great running back play, but this could be better from a defensive standpoint. And get off the block, young fella. Yikes. 3rd and goal here. Got a chance to get him off the field.
This is just bad. That's just bad DB play. All he has to do is shift and run with the guy. And he got fooled. He got fooled by the delay route. You can, KEZ, what'd you see on that route?
Absolutely, he got fooled by the delay route, and then he gave up outside. Well, he went way heavy inside leverage, right? And then the quarterback did a great job of timing. It looks like they worked on that play before, obviously.
Yeah.
Because usually from the shotgun, it's very hard to have a goal line fade route that goes to the back of the end zone. But that was just, I mean, honestly, it was very well constructed as far as the timing is concerned. And then we gave up, and we took inside leverage, and then squeezed them out going out of bounds.
Yep.
Guys, 5 seconds on the play clock. We've got some conversation going from Shaheem to Renardo here. We're still talking. DB's definitely not ready to go. Renardo's definitely not ready to go. 5 seconds to play clock. They're ready to go. We're not. Got a lot of guys standing up. We got Verse standing up. NEEFY, we talked about this before a couple of weeks ago. We've got to play faster defensively. Like, we need to be lined up and ready to go. We've got no down linemen with their hand in the dirt here. This can't happen. I mean, this is 3rd and goal. If we could just be ready for the doggone play, we might have a chance to stop it. As it stands here, we barely get down. Pat Payton barely gets down before the ball's even thrown up, and Renardo's not ready for the play. Outside fade, and he's looking and pointing, but you got to be ready to play football out there on the edge. Yeah. I mean, that's just bad.
Yeah, hopefully he learned his. Yeah, hopefully he learned his lesson. You don't get beat twice by letting the guy lull you to sleep. But that's basically he loved him to sleep, and then the ball's in the air.
All he has to do is run with him. If he runs with him, that ball's going out of bounds or it's picked off. And then the play where Jordan just he's got to make a decision. You can't just either going to run or you're going to throw. And he's taken too long to make a decision. Got fortunate that wasn't a safety. Just that was part of the Jordan maturation is understanding decisions got to happen. And KEZ played with a guy that understands that with Charlie. Like you either go or you don't. You pass or you run.
Well, and then this is what happens right here. When you get pressure, you know the ball's gonna come out quick. You cannot. When it's pressure like that, it's hard to think that you can run with the ball. Now, this thing, right? Is Travis has done that. That's the caveat. Travis has done that routinely, where he's made plays against plays that we shouldn't make plays. But every once in a while, you get caught, and he got caught.
Yeah.
You know, running away from a blitzer, a skilled blitzer, a linebacker, or a cornerback, a skilled blitzer chasing that, and they usually always get you, right?
Way late too. Way too late in decision making. Like there has to be a quicker clock. So
yeah, it doesn't. And we'll talk about this towards the end of the telecast. I mean, obviously, we know what happened with Jordan in the North Alabama game, so I don't want to get too crazy in the critique. But there was a lot of this going on in the last month of the season. There was a lot of, I call it the backpedal of death. I mean, it's just the endless backpedal that is just. It was happening. It happened in the Pittsburgh game. It definitely happened here in the Miami game, and it was just something that was progressing. And I know the staff doesn't teach that. I know the staff doesn't want him to do that, but it's like it's almost he's trying to extend the play. That was almost a disaster down there. Ended up being just as bad, really, because we ended up kicking the ball to them, and they got great field position. Now, what they're not showing on this condensed game is we had an interception on first down. They reviewed it. They took it from us. To me, I thought it was a pick.
Yeah.
They ended up taking it from us. So, NEEFY, now here we are, 2nd and 10, minute 20 left, on the 31-yard line. You know, let's see if we've got our run defense fixed.
That wasn't.
No. We've got a backer that is bouncing around and consistently, I think this is Tatum here. The linebacker play, I mean, the defensive line didn't play great, but the linebacker play outside of Deloach timing those blitzes was pretty poor in the first half, we're being honest. I've noticed about 3 or 4 different occasions on these big runs, the backer's just not seeing and getting in the gap. I don't know if he needs to take a step back and fill better, but it's just he's not in the right spot. And I mean, here we go again.
It's hard. It's hard for the backer to get his reads when the D lineman is 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. Like you can't get your reads with the D lineman 2 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. And
we'll come back to it.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think you got to make if you're getting double teamed as a defensive lineman, you got the linebacker that's going to help you by making them declare too. If he sits back there and waits for him, and they allow the offensive line to double team them back all the way up to the linebacker, then it's a no-win situation for both people.
Right. And NEEFY, there you are. I mean, we start this ball on the other side of the 31, between 31 and 32, and we've got a D lineman sitting right here in between the 29 and the 30. That's not supposed to happen. If we're rushing, we need to be this lineman here needs to be on the 31 in between the 32. And to your point, Tatum is very close to the line of scrimmage. He starts at the 29, so he's only a couple yards off the line of scrimmage, but he can't do his job if he's got these guys getting pushed into him. So we've got to get more physical on the line. It's going to help these guys out. I think in the interim, maybe an adjustment is take the linebackers and split them maybe a yard back if that's going to be a consistent thing against power run line. But the end result is linebackers way out of position, and we're getting this on 2nd and 10.
Yep.
Well, I'll say this right here too. It's a great check by Miami too as well. Don't want to give them credit, but a great check into a run against a 5-man box. Right, and so I don't know how they did it. I'm sure the freshman didn't do that. I'm sure they must have signaled from the sideline for him to, to call that run during that situation.
Yep. So they got a double team here. So I mean, and it's tough. Double team. I mean, you're going to get pushed, but just need to be better here. I mean, he's got to play both because this wide rush here. I mean, to Tatum's defense, he's got A and B. Or really A both sides. I mean, he's got A here and A here, and this is an extremely wide A gap. I mean, I could see why he would kind of look here because this is very wide. Now, if he can spill inside here, he can kind of give him an assist in the A gap. I'd like to see the safeties play up a little bit more so they can come help out, but Tatum really gets put in a tough spot here. I just feel like we were getting out coached. Their offensive line was kind of kicking our butt in that second quarter for a little bit.
Yeah, they were doing some things that they weren't, that they didn't show in film, and give credit to Miami, as KEZ pointed out. They're running some good sets that they're changing to.
Cross middle got verse and coverage there. Maybe a preview, some NFL positioning. Might be a linebacker. Great play here. Neef, we got a good one. We got a good one, doggone it. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. We got a good one, Neef. 3rd and 1. Is that a false start or that just looks weird?
20 seconds to go in the first half.
Great way to come off the edge first. Good job. Rally up. Great job. Neef, what did we do right on this one?
Penetrating. It's all it's good to penetrate. Tight off his butt, penetrating. You got 2 people in. Somebody take the inside, somebody take the outside.
Hey, there you are, 21. There you are, 3. Get in there.
Spun right into verse. It's a great play by whoever the first guy was that made the initial contact. That really just destroyed the play.
Yeah, I think that was verse. So they come in, they get a field goal. So we go to the locker room, 10-10. They get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and we do this here. And we have a shot, but we don't get it.
It's perfect. I mean, they did everything. I mean, KEZ goes on special teams. You watch it. They had the line up perfect. It was a great call by Mike. It's just the ball bounced bad.
Yeah, it was a great call. You know, when I first saw that play, I thought to myself, I said, "Man, I hope they're not hitting the panic button."
Yeah.
But then I saw the left returner over there retreat so fast, and it seemed like they saw something, right? And this was the time to take advantage of it. And so, I mean, to me, it was a great play. Just the ball didn't bounce our way on that one.
It just bounced too high. It took the big tricky. If it bounces regularly, that's FSU's ball. They got 3 guys right there. You could see the guy left. It was like there was only one guy over there, and of course, it bounced so high it just went over the guy's head right to the other guy. Just a bad bounce.
Here we are again, gentlemen. First offensive play for Miami coming out of the half. They get a very nice field position because we didn't give them up with the onside kick. But once again, Neef, we've got this double team, 65 and 73, taking our tackle 2-3 yards past the line of scrimmage. And we've got this backer in this conundrum again where he's got double A gap responsibility and he can't see. He's got, 700 pounds of human being in front of him. Really, if you count our guy's just close to 1,000 pounds of human. He can't see around it. I mean, which way is he going to go? And this back again busts up on the inside. And it's another great run on the inside. They were killing us with the A gap. Chase it down backside. That's great.
This is where they started. You started to see the change. Let NEEFY come in and talk about the line, but this is where you started to see the gaps.
Oh, yes. I'll make the tackle, fella.
It was good gap filling.
All right, so we start showing it up, Neef. What do we got here? What adjustment are you seeing from 3rd quarter? Well, from 2nd to 3rd quarter.
They're holding up their man and not pity patting. Now it's not like, okay, they done hit us on the 2nd and 11. They done gave a draw screen, be alert. So now they're not selling out to the pass and they're just playing. They're responding to the defensive alignment. And we're making good. To the offensive alignment, and we're making good plays.
All right, now we're playing on their side. See the line of scrimmage there? Now we've got to push. So the ball snapped at the 28. We've got Miami's lineman, except for 64. He's side pushing. Really, he's blocking him in the back here. We've got their line all pushed up here, and this is a run play. This is improvement here. I mean, this is our 3rd quarter adjustment. We're being a little more physical here, and the results is we hit them for a loss in the first down play. They come back and they run it here, and boom, we get a nice hit there, and we don't give up on the play. We feel DBs stepping up. DBs have run responsibility too. We're not just out there wearing gloves and looking cool. Got to come help these guys out. Here's a screen, NEEFY. How did we adjust to this?
You see now
this is great.
That first screen you had 3 D linemen turning and looking. They turned and ran, and this is the biggest difference in the screen. In the screen.
Look. Coach KEZ, 3rd and 13. What are they gonna call?
Screen. That's about all you got to call. Especially if you got a freshman quarterback, right? You're not gonna call down the field. You're not gonna risk interceptions and him trying to read a defense. And so, and then I think we anticipated them calling that too as well.
Yeah. Here's Pat right here. Let's watch what Pat does.
They're waiting.
Comes off, sees it. Beautiful job, Pat. That's phenomenal defensive.
It's already
play.
turning.
And we got rally up. All he needs to do is slow that guy down. We got bodies coming. That's a phenomenal job. Now it's 3rd and 17. And now Miami's got to try to kick a long field goal. They got a guy who can hit them, and he drilled it.
Yep.
He drilled it. They got a phenomenal kicker, Miami. That Borgales guy, he's really good.
Yeah, Andy's really good.
He's won some games for him. They didn't win a lot of games this year, but he won 2 of them for him. And then he was talking mess. And this is where the game kind of amped up a little bit. And we were like, all right, now we got to cut you.
Yep. Yeah, it gets serious now where you saw, I mean, you guys have mentioned a lot of the adjustments they made on defense.
Keon.
Yeah.
So there was
keep going this way.
they just adjusted a lot of things. And now it's just, as KEZ has been in these games, it's just about, it's time to get it on. Let's go. It's playmaking time.
Yeah, they were more emphasis, had a bigger emphasis of getting Keon the ball too. He didn't get in the first quarter. I mean, the first half, and then the second half, he started to get a chance to get some touches for him as well.
KEZ, the little stuff here from a wide receiver. I know they're going to have a defender that's rallying up here on the boundary side, but having this guy can't bring him down here. If he continues and tracks toward the sideline, he's at least going to get to the 33.
Absolutely.
And we kind of dance around. A guy that's physically put together like Keon, he's one of the most impressive athletes at any position I've seen in the country. Yeah. I would really like to see this be a first down here.
Yeah,
and we end up dancing.
Absolutely, and then you know what? Yeah, he's not. If he hits it, he'll gain more yards than what he did that time too as well.
Great ball. Oh, keep your feet, Chakai. Keep your feet. Keep your feet. That's got to be 6. You can't get caught from behind.
Johnny didn't hit his block soon enough to downfield. If you watch that, if you early, and we're not going to see it because Chakai catches it, but if Johnny turns around, gets in front of somebody, it might have been touchdown.
Yeah. RPO right here, right, guys?
Yeah, RPO there. Reading the linebacker. If he comes up, we throw the ball off his hip, off his ear. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, you basically got one-on-one with the safety there. You beat him across his face. It's hard to make a tackle.
Boom. Here it is. I mean, this is out the gate. Great ball by Jordan. Put it right in the kitchen for him so he can turn and run with it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, number 5 is probably pretty fast, so I don't want to – but, man, you'd love to see that score there.
Yeah, it's a great play and concept by Mike or Alex that called that. They saw the one-on-one. The guy had to take you to the outside or the inside. KEZ can probably talk more about that route, but I thought it was a great concept what they ran, even though they didn't score.
Yeah.
Don't like this. A lot of exposure to contact, and obviously we've lost Jordan now. These are the kind of plays that just really – I'd love to see this run to the field side. There's just not enough over there. We don't get leverage. 48 doesn't get leverage on this block, and it's like – when Jordan spills it back inside, it's like 1,000 to 1,500 pounds of hurricane coming to hit him. I just don't like that.
Yeah, we had a numbers disadvantage over there too as well. I think the tight end went in motion, and we lost. We didn't have leverage anyway, and so we didn't have leverage. We didn't have numbers, and we just picked the wrong side.
Yep. So we tie it up 13-13. Now we got a ball game, guys. I mean, we're almost halfway through the third quarter, and now it gets pretty serious. Miami's confident. They're sitting at 6-3. This is a game that can make their season a little bit better on 2nd and 10 here. You just want to – what are we doing here? We're having a goat rope.
They got an offensive lineman still blocking the plays over.
3rd and 6, Neef. 3rd and 6. Bring some pressure off the edge. Can we stop them? Yes, we can. Spill it to the inside.
Middle guys.
Fiske and Bethune. So now I felt like Miami got a little bit tight offensive play calling-wise. They punt to us. Here we go. Here's your man, KEZ. Johnny, big catch on the sideline. Plant the left foot. Get upfield.
Yeah, it's hard to tackle him, especially when he plays fast. Look at the transitions. He catches and then turns quickly at the field. It's hard when you can play that fast, that good of timing, and that's when you got good quarterback receiver relationship and timing. That makes it easy to play.
There you go, Trey.
That was a great call. I mean, great call. They caught him.
Great job. Great job by 88 there, Portier. Not crack back in, didn't need to do it. You know what I mean? Just let Trey just be present there because the DB doesn't want to run through him. He's a big body.
Yeah, they caught Miami in a pass defense. And then Kitchen made a terrible angle play, even though he's an All-American. Trey just made him look silly. He came too far in when he was supposed to go out. You see it right there.
Play.
Bam.
Yep.
Gone.
You just route ran him. Trey can outrun you. If your angle isn't perfect with Trey, we get him in space, he's going to be a problem. And some of the backstory I don't think people know, Trey was at Oregon, ended up having a devastating knee injury. Mario did not take him, didn't want him, didn't bring him with him from Oregon to Miami. And although Trey and Coach Cristobal have a relationship, they still talk. They were talking actually before this game. You know, Trey, I'm sure that's something Trey thinks about. He had a huge game down there in Hard Rock last year, huge game.
Yeah. And
he turned out to be, I mean, gosh, if we would have got the first quarter long run, man, you'd be talking about some crazy yardage for Trey. So he had another big game against Miami.
Yeah, I'll say the thing about Trey, like when he sees it or feels it, as KEZ has seen when things are opening up with route or blocking, when he sees it, he is a monster because once he hits that full speed, you can't bring him down. He's just too hard. So that's what makes him so special.
So we get the ball back here in control, and this is where things start getting good for the Noles. There we go. Keon bends it around the corner there instead of ducking it back inside. Great play on first down, sets up 2nd and 3. And go over the top. There you go, Kyle. Go get upfield. Nice. Really start incorporating the tight ends this game. Morlock and Jaheim had a nice game.
I mean, I think this is the most receptions for tight ends in the last couple of years, man.
Yeah.
Really, they are cleaning up.
Talk to me about this route here. Back shoulder.
Yeah.
Great catch.
Yeah, great shit. You know what? About 8 yards, the quarterback he's making a decision where he's going to throw the ball. If that DB is over the top, he's going to throw it back shoulder. If you get a chance to beat him, all right, you get a chance to throw it over the top. Now, what I hope for Johnny, this right here is maybe give him a little bit more inside presence to make him stay, so you can give a chance for the deep ball. I don't know if that's he got help over the top too as well. So that's probably the best they can possibly do. But that's a great job of the quarterback really seeing where he wants to throw the ball. It's DB high, throw it low. It's DB too low, throw it high.
Yeah, and they tried that throw again. The DB did a better job of containing it outside, but Johnny tried to make a great catch, but couldn't pull it down. But
great play right there.
He's so tough. He's so tough on those one-on-ones with Johnny, like because it's so much to prepare for. Inside, outside, body control. He's got such a high catch radius, as KEZ knows. When you get guys that are long like that, there's a lot of things you can do with a receiver.
3rd and 12. We were not running a screen. We were trying to run. He's got him across the middle there. Just didn't see him.
Yeah, and
didn't see him.
That's what I talk about with Jordan is like you have to make a decision, pass, run. What are you going to do? You can't. A lot of times you think he's waiting for something to happen. Yeah, he's got to go.
Got to see it now. You got to put that ball right here, and that could potentially be a first down. It's not going to be a pick. His hips are flipped. You got to be able to see that. His whole body's turned. He's out of the picture. You've got leverage here. If that ball comes right here, this may be a first down, and he's staring right at it. I mean, this is just something that's got to be seen. And I know that we're not going to see Jordan play this Saturday or through the playoff or through Louisville game. Right. But at the next level, this is a throw. And correct me if I'm wrong, KEZ. This is a throw that Jordan has to make. He's looking directly at it. He's got to make this throw here.
Yeah, anticipation is a big key for quarterbacks too. You know, anticipating. You run that route so many times so you can anticipate where he's going to be at. And you don't have to throw it a gazillion miles per hour. You just need to put it in that space because you know your guy's going to be in that space. He's been in that space 12 times in practice. You know he's going to be there. Put it out there early before he makes the cut, and then he'll make that play.
Yeah, ends up being a big sack. We pin him, and coming off the edge, Shaheem got to make that play. Come on, man. Come on, Shaheem. He's right off the edge. A little tighter. Got to get there. Oh, you're right there. Get your head across. Head can't be on the outside hip, Neef. That's what Mickey taught us. Put that helmet on the ball. Come on now. Just missed it. And he's mad.
You got to give everything on there. We got to put him on the hip and go.
So we get the ball here. Jordan run. We just hold your breath every time. Just hold your breath every time.
Yeah.
End up
here it is.
Trading punts. And here's a big punt return coming up. There's Keon. And here he goes.
Great blocking.
Here he goes.
That's just great blocking.
Yeah. it's something to be said when your guys believe in you to give that effort on the punt team, right?
Yeah.
So they believe in Keon. Now I don't believe that Keon's a great punt returner. I think he's consistent, has great hands. He's gonna make sure you catch the ball. But when he gets it, his guys love blocking for him and they believe in him, and so they're gonna give extra effort to make sure that he has an opportunity to move the ball down the field.
Yeah,
And no,
and to
go ahead,
Kez's
Mike.
point, I was just saying to Kez's point, he'd never played special teams. He never done punt. Even the broadcast for this game was saying like, look, I've never done punts. He's like, but what he does best is Kez, what you want to do back there is catch the ball. So anything else
Exactly.
you do after it is special or relief or whatever. Now he can break tackles, but
Yes.
he's not going to. Mainly, you just want him back there, a big guy that can catch the ball. That's what he's done all year. If you watch everything he's done, he's definitely filled that role, and it was kind of an unexpected role. And certainly, I just love the blocking on that play. Like I cannot speak enough about what they did on the blocking with that play. And this is just Jordan being elite.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can
Yeah.
teach that.
Now this is the thing when we talk about Florida game and Louisville game and what Tate can do. This is where this injury hurts because we go back and we look at this. Jordan is one of the absolute best playmakers in all of college football. And there's only maybe Jaden Daniels and maybe one other that can make a play like this. I mean, tackled in the back, get off it, spin here, come through. I mean, darn near scored. This is what makes it tough. It's like, how can we change the offense so we don't have to rely on that? And now here we go. We've got some crazy stuff going. I think Emory Williams stole his chain. I don't know if it was this play or not, but
yeah, you have so many. To your point, Rico, you have so many really elite playmakers that you can make up for that, and then that's just one guy being special.
KEZ, what do we got here?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a back shoulder too as well. You got two gigantic receivers out there, and then he is a basketball player too as well. So it's like him getting a rebound. And if you playing basketball, you got him and this freshman right here playing basketball. Who you think will get this rebound? Our guy. Ford's gonna get this rebound, and so that's what he actually does. And so it's almost impossible to not even. You see that little push off right there too as well.
Yep.
See that's what he should be doing, right? If you're that big, you should play physical. Make them have to call up. That's almost a terrible tackle there, but make them have to call a pass interference on you. Don't let them limit your strength and abilities by playing little. So he doesn't do that. He plays big.
Exactly.
I
didn't like them kicking to zero. He's one of their biggest weapons. I'd rather you just kick it out of the end zone because that guy is so elite. But FSU's coverage was good, but that was a little risky.
So we stuff them, guys, on that ensuing possession. We get the ball back. We don't do anything first, second down. We're 3rd and 10, 9 minutes to go. This is the point of the game where we can execute. We can cover the spread. We can get comfortable. And we just didn't put the fork in them.
Yeah. Good check down, though. But
yeah, they rallied up nice there. So now we got to kick the ball back to them. And here's where things get bad. 1st and 15, just dropping back, chucking it. And this is just abysmal DB play here.
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know what to say.
That's just – I mean, his face says it all. I'm with you, brother. I don't know what I just watched either.
One player's about to pick the ball off and the other wipes the other guy out. So, I mean, yeah. It's bad.
We're looking at the ball a little well, no, right there. I mean, I don't know what this is.
Go for the ball. Go for the ball.
Yep.
Is that Noles? Is that number 3 Noles?
Yes. It was.
Okay, this is kind of a situation where safety is like it's a feel, Guys that are quick twitch athletes can get in front of somebody. They can take a personal one-on-one matchup. They can slow people down. They can get pass breakups and stuff. Safety is really a feel. It's not the same as corner. And a lot of times you try to cross-train. You try to get guys to play both. Mm-hmm. But it's safety is really a feel. And some guys have it, some don't. This was a example of a guy just not having a feel for the position.
Yep.
This ball could have been this was either a hospital ball or a pick. It should not have resulted in an 85-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
I mean, Noles had a chance to be, get a Stanford Samuels type hit. Now, I'm not saying hit dirty. Never going to advocate for that. But you could have absolutely take your shoulder pad and put it right through his chest. And this would not have been a completion. Maybe it's a flag, but it would not have been an 85-yard touchdown.
Well, you just need to track the ball. He wasn't tracking the ball. And if you're going to either track the ball, you're going to track the hit. And he didn't do either. He did the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, he's not looking at the ball at all, and he doesn't hit the receiver either.
Yep.
I mean, what are we doing here? He's not seeing the ball. He's got to come across here. And okay, maybe it's a big play over the top. He probably dislodges the ball if he just contacts him. Instead, he does the worst thing. He takes out Cypress.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? And I've heard this right here. Just certain DBs, they have a mentality. I'm going for the ball every time, or I'm going for the hit every time. But you can't be in the middle of the thing.
Yep.
You can't be in the middle of it.
Yep. So you had to get through that, and then it was just going to be a grind from that point.
There we go again, KEZ. A great ball there Johnny was winning on the corners regularly, particularly on those comebacks and back shoulders.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's very good, and his speed has gotten better too as well. But one of those stop routes and those curl routes, man, you really have to have good feet, especially against smaller guys when you're a bigger guy. That's not a route that's to your favor, really. And so he seems to have gotten better as far as his speed and his deceptiveness.
Oh man,
Another back pedal.
It's a back pedal. I mean, part of this, KEZ, is seeing the pressure before it comes, right?
Gotta get out your hands, right? We gotta be able to have, first of all, protection. Obviously, you don't want pressure up the middle. So I don't know what the protection is where we allow pressure up the middle. But still, that you're getting pressure. You got 5 or 6 guys coming, right? Ball gotta get out of your hands. You got everybody. It's zero coverage. First of all, it's zero coverage. That means they got one extra. They got one extra, and so the ball's got to come out your hands quick. You can't run a deep post. You can't run a deep thing. You got to get out your hands quick.
Yeah, guy on the outside's open. I mean, as soon as he turns, he'd be wide open. The DB's already shooting back.
That's bad tackling there. Again, Noles. He didn't have a good game. 3rd and 1 here.
NEEFY, I like this.
Boom. Great job, Neef. Let's talk about this one, Neef. 3rd and 1.
We got to bow up your necks, man, and get a stop. You know it's coming.
All right, Noles comes here, gets pushed off again, doesn't make the tackle. So we set up 3rd and 1, and this is a big play in the game. We're only up 7. Are we lined up and ready to go? We've got guys that are actually ready to go here.
We're ready to go.
In the first quarter, 5 seconds on the goal line, 3rd and goal, we had guys standing up, counting butterflies, thinking about what they were going to do at Chubby's tonight. Winning time, we actually ready to go.
Yeah, man, it's good to see, man. You see everybody coming in, hands going, knocking people back, playing on their side of the line.
2 yards back, 3 yards back, some guys.
Nice, good feel. And what that does, NEEFY, is what you were pointing out earlier, is now the linebackers can actually see. Let's see where our depth is. Same depth, NEEFY, same depth. But now playing on their side allows for these backers to fill, and now it's a big difference. Like he already committed, but now Lundy has space. He has space. He can see. He comes in and cleans up the tackle. I mean, that's a huge difference between first, second quarter, and now winning time. Now here's 4th and 2. He runs, and
Somewhere he gets hurt, and he was short, and they marked it wrong.
Yeah.
They just nothing to say. They just flat missed the mark on the review.
Yeah, I want to try to slow down. I don't know if we're going to have the ability to zoom here, but sets up a 4th and 2. And
pause it right there.
Yep.
You got number 7, verse. Biggest play when he slowed him down and turned his body around to put himself in chase. That was major. That made the play.
Huge play. We've got a big stack box. Let's see. Do we get push here? It's fairly well. So what you're saying here is when Verse turns his body,
he's looking at his reads instead of playing with his eyes. And watch how he gets hands on him, slows him down for whoever's chasing him. And
helps out 15. Come on, 15, come off him. But he has to, though, because he's open for a pass. Now, this is where he starts reaching. That knee is down, and that ball is not crossed. That knee's down right there. They gave him the call. He ends up breaking his arm here. Horrible result for Miami. Don't want to see that. They bring in the senior, Tyler Van Dyke, and now it's like storybook time, right? 3rd and 12, got a chance to get off. Big push off here. Renardo does not make the play. What do we got here, KEZ? Do you like this route concept? Do you like what the receiver did here?
It's not the best. It's not the best route versus 2-man, right? You want to run crossing routes. You want to run routes that are breaking out, but you don't want to run hitch routes because the DB got help over the top, right? And my thought was this right here is why not play underneath him? Don't get a back shoulder thrown on you. Play underneath that thing because you got help where over the top. And so it's not the best route. And later on the game, I guess we'll make a play on it too.
Got push off, got it there. Shaheem couldn't get there in time. So 3rd and 12. This is where it got a little dicey. Here. 1st and 10. Here's TVD. Throws it again. Picking on Renardo again. And luckily they stopped the play because I didn't know if Renardo was going to be able to tackle him.
Yeah, 2 other guys. So once the ref blew the whistle, they didn't see Sheem
Good
there.
receiver play.
Yeah,
4th and 10. Here we go. 4th and 10. Defense bowed up here. 4th and 10. We get a nice push. That's a hold there on 15 and a block in the back. Doesn't matter. We get a pick thrown here. My man, Jerry Jones, making a lot of plays in the defensive backfield. He's one DB who is making plays. We end up shutting it down here. Let's see what route concept they ran.
Yeah, he messed up here where he had 7 underneath, and KEZ can kind of see that early, but he waited too long. And then once that route had finished, he had no other choice but to throw it where he threw it. But if you watch 7 has a slight crease. He might not have got the ball in there, but I think he had a chance to get the ball to 7.
Yeah.
Now, Tatum gets good pressure here. I feel like this is a hold. If we look up here at the top of the screen, all right, actually rather in the middle. Here we go right here. Here's Tatum's pressure. All right, at this point now, hands are inside. He's grabbing them. He's trying to get this way. They could have called holding here. They don't. That's a hold, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hold, but it gets better. Now he gets up to pursue. That, ladies and gentlemen, is about as elementary a block in the back as you can get. I mean, goodness gracious. We end up getting a pick, but, I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah. And that was a much better job of playing underneath the receiver when you got help over the top. That was a much better job. Those guys were right in trail technique, and you really didn't have an alley to throw the ball.
Well, Noles get the big win, 27-20 over the Canes. It's 3rd year in a row, definitely in control of that rivalry. Coach Norvell goes to 3-0, did not coach the first game as he had COVID a few years ago. So that is how this game ends. It was not the blowout that we wanted. It wasn't a perfect game. We did show a lot of progression, particularly from the 1st and 2nd quarter to the 3rd and the 4th and winning time. What was your overall impression of this ball game, guys? I guess we'll start with you, KEZ, and work our way down. What was your impression just top to bottom as far as a team effort?
Well, I thought the team effort was decent. You know what? I just knew that Miami game. Those Miami games are always tough, right? If you do get ahead and what this game means to win this game right here, you're not going to push it to where you get a blowout, right? You're just not going to do it. You're trying to get the win, trying to get the dub because it's a rivalry game, and then it has so much riding on it, right? And so I didn't feel like the coaches would go and say, you know what, we're going to, just try to go and just smash him. And we try to beat him by 50 points. Because if you do that, there's a possibility of making mistakes on the other end too. When you just want to you want the W, you want the dub, right? And so I just didn't believe that they would, the score would be that high. I thought 14 I thought we were 14 to 21 points better than them. And if we messed up, the only way we'd be a blowout if Miami made it a blowout. If Miami gave us and they quit or they did some stuff that was, unsound to where they just gave it to us. But I just know we were looking for the W.
NEEFY, what did you see? What did you see as far as progression in that game?
Our relentlessness, man. I'm proud of our relentlessness. The Miami's big. Miami's trying to spoil our season. They're putting everything out on the line. It's a rivalry game late in the year. It's like you don't expect to blow this team out. They're gonna put up something. They're gonna try to work all kinds of specials, and they're going. So we came out of it. We played good. We played well enough to win. It gave us something to. All right, we're at that point. We're like 8-0, 9-0. But it's so much more that we left on the film so that we can focus up on film and move forward. So it's like, we got a good win. It's always good to beat those guys. Always good to beat those guys.
It is. Two wide rights.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't even like talking about that, KEZ. Scars.
We come out with the win and we come out healthy.
Yeah, I think the main thing, being a guy that's lived in this city his whole life, I know I've been through all the good and bads, the wide rights, as KEZ mentioned, and they play their best. Miami does when they play in Doak, like they do. Like you look at all their great games, they play really good at Doak. So I knew it was going to be a battle. Like I knew. Now my score was like 34-13. That's kind of what I thought it would be until that situation happened with the pass. But overall, I knew it was going to be hard fought. That first half did not surprise me. It's going to be hard hitting. This is going to be Miami Super Bowl. They don't have anything to lose. All the pressure's on FSU because FSU's got the season going on, ACC championship, playoff contention as far as being for a playoff. Miami didn't have anything else. They were out of the ACC race. But even still, Miami's going to bring it every time you play them there. Like when they play there, they play really well. Credit to Adam Fuller. He did a hell of a job changing some stuff up and adjusting. And then they made some crucial plays down the stretch in that second half to put themselves in position to win. And then the defense carried them to the end.
Yeah, I thought that it was I did have a lot of respect for the Miami coaching staff to have the bravery to put the freshman out there, Emory Williams. There was a lot of talk about it. I personally thought that TVD gave them more of a shot in this game because he's been there, but they went with the freshman and he played pretty well. I think we played into their hands. They ran the ball well. We allowed him to execute some throws early. I thought the adjustments defensively were terrific. And I felt like the offense started to hit their stride in that third quarter, in the fourth, and they were pretty dominant. FSU really dominated that second half. And if it just wasn't for that play, the 85-yard freak play, Mike, I think your score 34-13 probably would have held because we're up 27-13 at that time. Miami got their 20th point on that touchdown, and we probably would have been able to get the ball and probably score and really put it away. But as it stands, it's the third win in a row over Miami. A lot of pressure on Coach Cristobal, particularly next year. You got to like where we stand. NEEFY, coming from that area, how big is it to beat Miami?
It's huge, man. The recruiting, we have some big recruits in this area. So I don't think the recruits really look at it like, okay, they're winning or not. But to hear about it and see that Florida State is winning, it's a big difference. It's a very big difference.
And I'll even say, like, to add on to that, Rico, with recruits, it's like it almost meant more because they showed how they handle adversity in that crucial moment against their rival. That means a lot to recruits. I've always said this, when recruits are on visits, like the only thing that's going to really hurt your chances is if you get embarrassed, you're not showing you're competing, or it's just a really, really bad, just loss in general. But overall, recruits just want to see a good game and a fun time and just how you compete. But when you show how you handle adversity, you see it had a big effect on a lot of recruits because of how FSU responded.
Well, we got a special little treat here. We're gonna go kick it old school real quick and bring up some. We're gonna bring up some 4th and 5. Okay, we're down there in Bobby Dodd, a place that Mr. McCorvey knows pretty well. What we got going on here, Coach? What's the call?
This is what the game, and then it turns to be 4th and 5. We go to the sideline. I'm on the sideline too, waiting, and then my coach grabs me and says, "Coach, hey kids, get in the huddle." I'm in the huddle, right? They say a 60 goal line, and when I hear 60 goal line, I know it's coming to me because that was my play in practice and whatnot. They had a lot of success, and so when they called it, I thought, okay. And then Charlie looks at me. He said, "Get open," and then. And it just so happened, that they were. I think we went in I formation, tight end, to get them to play man to man, and so they played man to man. And I remember I had Lathon Flowers was guarding, and I ran a little slant out. And then when I made him miss, and when I was going in the end zone, I saw this big giant safety put his helmet right on that ball too, and I was just. When he hit it, I looked at the referee to make sure that he threw the hands up for a touchdown.
I was too, KEZ, and my parents were at that game, and I was like, "Did he score?" Like, because it was so close, but it seemed like you definitely had way past the line when you hit it. But as I said, when it comes to routes, like KEZ has a feel for that stuff, and KEZ kind of gave you kind of a feel for what happened as Rico can play that through.
Yeah, we're going to take you back in time, Nole fans. Take you back in time. Big play here. Out wide, 4th and 5. Game is on the line. We snap. Charlie goes through his progressions. Throw.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Get across the line. Clearly a touchdown.
And it wouldn't have mattered. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the ball went out of bounds. So
it crossed the plane.
It'd have been the first down. Wayne's happy.
Yeah.
How crazy of an environment was this?
You know what? It was crazy because of just the game, how it went, right? Charlie throws a couple of interceptions early in the game. We're down. They're scoring. They have a senior quarterback and Sean Jones, and they are really dominating the tempo of the game, right? And then we actually go to the no huddle shotgun, and we only had 3 plays. We really only ran 2 plays really. We ran 2 plays, smash and go. So the whole fourth quarter, we're running 2 plays down the field and scoring, right? And so that was really the amazing part of it. We ran. I was so tired because I ran a go or a corner route every single play of that fourth quarter.
And they had to recover a few onside kicks just to have a shot. If you watch it, they recovered at least 1 onside kick. I don't know if there was 2, but definitely 1. And they were always on the field. You watched the offense, you felt like they were always on the field in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You cooked this guy. He was cooked.
That's one of my favorite routes there, 60 goal line, and so I ran it a bunch of times, and
he's sliding into second.
Little ball security there, but
you're in.
I'm in.
You're a yard in from what I saw from that highlight.
But and really what happened in that game right there is we kind of found our identity in that game right there. You go out there and you're able to put Charlie in a position where he felt the most comfortable, and then you start getting some. I know for me myself too as well. I got a chance to play the slide. I was playing X to the boundary, and then when we get in that formation, I get to play slide. And so when I got the slide, my career came alive too as well. I just I ended up leading the team the next year, and then same thing the next year. And that I just that was my spot, the slot receiver, the new position, the slot receiver became my spot.
KEZ, I've heard several stories about this, but tell me about how it originated. Where you guys run, the run and shoot, whatever they call it, offense. Did it happen in practice? I heard in practice y'all ran a 2-minute offense, and you're like, "Holy crap, Charlie's really good at this. Maybe we should make this our full-time offense." When did you know?
I knew that game, right? We had that offense kind of like that before, but we didn't have it where we had 4 receivers, right? We had it where we had a tight end and we had an extra receiver, and that was Kevin Knox to the other side. But that was the first time that I came in and I played the Y position. And so so really what happened is that game is when we went to it exclusively, fourth quarter, played it. And when I get pieces of it. Mark's wife says, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that from the beginning?" Mark kind of, but then the next game we played Virginia and it was raining, and so we didn't do a whole lot of it. But then we came out the Maryland game. The next game we came out and we just came out exclusively in the no-huddle shotgun. And we played that the whole game, and we ended up scoring 80 points and 800 yards or whatever. And that was what we did from then on. You know,
it blew up.
Yeah, it blew up. And
you blew up. You had that game. And then a lot of people, you get to the Florida game, a lot of people talked about, obviously the Wart Dunn play was unbelievable, but you had a really good early first half in that game, several touchdowns. Just talk about that experience in that game, because that's kind of the moment I think FSU fans like, you know what, we got a chance to win this whole thing now.
Yeah. You know, honestly, 2 early touchdowns in that game, and then corner routes, and we really felt like we had them too as well. But they kept fighting. When you got teams that are really traditionally good, they're gonna keep fighting. Matter of fact, I talked to Danny Warfel. God bless him. Danny Warfel was a good friend of mine, right? And so I like to pick on him a lot, right? So I'm picking on Danny, and so I said, Danny, because that play that went to Warwick was supposed to come to me. So it was a bender route in the middle for me, but then Warwick slipped out and caught the ball, and then the rest is history. But I said, Danny, that ball was supposed to come to me. He said, KEZ, I wish that ball had come to you.
Yeah, you might have scored too. He doesn't know that.
He did it in practice every day, but Warwick was, I know he's on your team, KEZ, but he was just so unique and special out of any guy I've ever seen at FSU. Just when he touched the ball, you expected him to score.
Yeah, he was explosive. The first day I saw him at practice, right? Because I was his host on his visit, and I didn't know what had happened. Sean Jackson was supposed to be his host, but then they gave him to me, and then so we went out and hung out and whatnot, and I didn't know what had just happened in his life. I didn't know anything about that. Right. And so we're at the house, we're playing Madden. I'm beating him down, and he finally opens up and speaks. So Ward don't speak a whole lot, right? So he said, KEZ, they want me to play DB, but I don't want to play DB. I said, well, tell me you don't want to play DB then. And so I commenced to beating him down in Madden. And he goes in the next morning, he goes down there, he talks to Coach Bowden and says, hey, I want to play running back. Coach Bowden agrees, and he commits. And I thought to myself, great job, KEZ. You did your job.
That's a big one. That's a big win for you.
I know, but I didn't know how good he was, and so when he came as a freshman, I thought to myself, okay, well you'll get redshirted, and we'll boost your confidence. The first day of practice, I think we saw with Shells or something like that. They get a little pitch out to him against maybe the second team, and all I see is zoom, and I was like, good Lord. I mean, that was fast. Then the very next play, he pitched to the other side, and he's gone for 60 yards on the other side. I said, wow. Okay, he's gonna play. He's gonna play.
We got a weapon, and then him and Charlie had such the same personality. Very laid back, but just I think Wart just took you guys to another level, because he was a guy people could not answer for. He's not a guy you can cover. And talk about just covering him in one-on-one when you watch him in practice and screens. I mean, how hard is it for people to just contain him?
Yeah, and he's a home run hitter too. You know what? This is the thing. You just got when you got a variety of different weapons. Me personally, I was over the middle guy. I was a slot receiver. I wasn't gonna get a whole bunch of 70-yard throws or bombs and stuff like that. But having a guy like Warwick, he was a home run hitter. And so you can my job. I knew what my job. My job was to get a first down so we can get a chance to get him up to bat again to see if he can hit a home run. And so, but when you got people that kind of go together like that, it makes a good team.
Right.
Yeah, it's just some legendary stories there, plays there. We've got a lot of experience here. I mean, if we look at some of the numbers, I think Neef, I've got you for 23 tackles for loss, 8 career sacks, an interception, a touchdown. So having that expertise to be able to break down the defensive line play is awesome. KEZ, we've got you for, I think, 189 total catches as a Nole, 2,700 yards, 16 TDs. I mean, one of the most prolific wide receivers in that early stage when we became national champions, went on to have a stint with the Lions. I mean, it has just been a pleasure to have you guys break this stuff down and give us the expertise, because you don't see that. You see a lot of people do game reviews and they don't really know, frankly, what the heck they're talking about. You know, when we're doing it, we bring you guys as subject matter experts, man. It is awesome. This show has been phenomenal. I appreciate all you guys' time. Would love to have you guys back. We got a big one on Saturday. Neef, we'll start with you. You got predictions for the game Saturday night against Florida?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna get my prediction. I think this is gonna be the game that we finally put it all together. And we're gonna win 31-17.
31-17. I like that. I'll take that. Mike, you got a prediction?
Yeah, it's tough. But I've watched both of these teams a lot. Obviously, growing up in Tallahassee, I'm always going to watch what Florida's doing and naturally watch what Florida State's doing. I think it'll be a little bit. I'm kind of similar to NEEFY, but I think I think this defense for Florida struggle. I think they'll play a little better than they have, but I still think FSU is going to do enough, and I think they'll make explosive plays. I like FSU 31-21.
All right, KEZ, you got a prediction for what's going to go down in the swamp?
Well, I think Florida's going to have a bunch of trick plays. We have to get through that first 15 to 20 plays. They're going to have it scripted up, some go gadgets and all that kind of stuff like that. And so we have to get through that and just keep our composure. But that's been our MO the whole year, right? So the second half has been ours. Every single game. I don't think this will change either. And I think we'll end up pulling it out at the end. Probably not close. I think maybe 10 points, 10 to 14 points that we'll end up winning by. I don't know exactly what that means, but I know that we'll get 10 to 14 points better than them to win this game.
Okay. I like it. I've been wrestling with it. I'm going to go with 31-20. I think the game's going to be close early. I think we pull away due to some of the aforementioned adjustments, and I feel like we get a big field goal to kind of make it a 2-score game later in the fourth. We put Max Brown in a position where he's got to beat you with his arm and can't beat you with his own read and his legs. And I think our defense, with some of the adjustments that we made that we saw in the Miami game here, I think we shut down the run and shut down Etienne in the second half, and we get out of there 31-20 with a victory, moving on to Louisville, where we'll have another bird to put on the grill. So for this week, it's going to be fried gator. Again, KEZ, Neef, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's been a phenomenal experience. The stories, just the kinship. One thing about Florida State, it's a special bond that you have from lowest guy on the totem pole to your superstars. Everybody gets treated the same, and you guys are exemplary of that. Some of the best players in our history are some of the most humble, giving back to the community. I know both of you gentlemen coach now, so we appreciate everything that you guys do with the youth. It's very special to give back, and you guys have had your time, and you guys have gone places with ball, and now you're helping others do that. And it's just exemplary for what Seminoles are. Mike, you do a lot of stuff helping young guys get recruited, not just to Florida State. And, myself, I've spent some time coaching as well. So it's just 4 examples of 4 Noles that are giving back. And we just really appreciate you guys' time, really appreciate your efforts, and really appreciate your contributions again. It's a pleasure to have you guys on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just having passion for what you do. Whether it's, everyone asks, like, why do you do this? It's like relationships. That's the main thing why I do it. A lot of these guys, like, I've known for years, like 20, 25 years. And even whether they go to FSU or not, that's the stuff you take away. Whether you played with guys, whether Seminoles played with, KEZ played with NEEFY or whoever, it's like you're always a part of it. So there's always a relationship. So it's always been, when we get KEZ. Having KEZ in here, I've known KEZ for a while. I actually, he speaks at, he's done FCA things and different kind of things that are related to, whether FSU or that. But just getting to know these guys is the best part. And so to have him on here, and then NEEFY's knowledge of being on here, and then Rico, you played, so you understand what goes on to the game planning. It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing content for the fans out there, and I think it's great.
And I will say, NEEFY, we almost had our Georgia Tech moment in Bobby Dodd, but Spurlock didn't quite get the block. We fumbled the ball down at the goal line. That's when I think we were. If I remember, I want to say we were 5-1 or 6-1 in ACC play. We were right there on the verge. I think it was right before the Boston College game, and obviously we had the fight in the Union. But we almost had our Georgia Tech moment. We just didn't execute on the goal line. I still remember that to this day. I remember you and Everett talking to us after Wednesday practice, full pad practice, talking about the opportunity to go in there to Atlanta. I didn't dress that game. I actually traveled and actually tailgated that game. And I just remember the pain coming back from Atlanta with that loss that we should have been a win. I just remember that. I'm glad we were able to show KEZ making that play and getting a victory in Bobby Dodd. We tried to follow up, but we did not execute, and it was a painful journey back from Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? And I say this right here too, just as far as the camaraderie and the, I really enjoyed my time at Florida State, right? When you get older, right, you have a better appreciation for what you went through. Now, playing for Coach Bowden, playing, in all the different opportunities. When you're young, you take it for granted. But when you're old, you see how very special it was and is to this day to have an opportunity to play for such a coach, to play in such a crowd and a community that loves football, and to be a part of something special too as well. Everywhere I go when I was playing, right, people always love to hate on Florida State. And I loved it, right? People always wanted to see the big dog go down. And I love people just, up from the West Coast to the East Coast. Oh, man, you Florida State guys, y'all. Yeah, we are. Yes, we are. We can't help it.
Yeah. It's pretty special, guys. We look forward to having you guys back on. Big game Saturday. It's a night game. I like how we play a night game, especially second half of night game. So we'll see if we can get it done. Jordan Travis is down with injury. It was a terrible moment. I will say this. I don't want to get too far into it, but I will say it's the most catastrophic injury to a team chasing a national title that I've ever seen. And it creates a unique situation to where I don't think it's so doom and gloom to where we can't rally around him. I think Tate can make the plays. I think we have a program, not a player. And I think we have guys who can step up. But it really is a situation emotionally where it's like, this is a guy that came from Louisville, didn't get an opportunity there, came here, didn't get an opportunity under Coach Taggart. He didn't believe in him. He offered to switch positions. Coach Norvell sticks with him, and he takes us from 5-7 his sophomore year to 10-3 last year, 11-0, and a Heisman candidate. I would really, it would warm my heart to see us step up and play a great game and kind of carry him off the field as a victor and a state champion 2 times in a row, guys. I really hope we see that, and I think we're capable of doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the feeling was similar for me when Chris Winkie got hurt in the Wake Forest game at home. It was a rainy day. Chris got his neck hurt. FSU had to eventually play with Marcus Outson against Florida. Had to pull all these tricks out with Peter Warwick and coach, now wide receiver coach Ron Dugans, who made a big touchdown catch. So it reminded me of the feeling I had then. It was like a pin drop. Your heart just sank. And it was mainly, I wasn't worried about what FSU is going to be, Kez. I felt very confident what Tate does and what Tate brings to the offense. I felt just heartbroken for a kid that's gone through so much, where he had times in his career where he told the coaches, like, hey, if you want me to play somewhere else, whatever I can do to help, he'll do it. Fans booing, hey, we want somebody else. The guy never stopped believing. And he completely changed kind of the standard of the way people viewed FSU back for 3 years. It was really bad. And he got FSU back to, talk about FSU now. Those guys that bring up, hey, you're an FSU guy, you want an FSU lose. You saw that hate back. So it's almost like embrace the hate from all the other haters. So it was like he brought all that back. And so my heart was broken for him, not for what FSU could be, because I feel very confident in what FSU does, but it was just, I was heartbroken for him, Kez.
Yeah. And too, I heard this, what he said, and Travis has been this way the whole time of seeing. I think it's a benefit when you've gone through the whole process of being, at the verge of not seeing your dream come to pass, and then living your dream, and then seeing it taken away from you at the end too, where you don't get a chance to finish it. And so But I think I just see him in his attitude, in his thought process that he was lending us when he was speaking about this the whole process, and I loved it, man. Really, just it has a sobering focus of his life right here, where football, and he's appreciative of what he has and I got a chance to achieve. Sometimes, so many times we can't appreciate what we have in the hand. So because we're looking so far in the future, he was being present in his present day. He was enjoying playing ball with his teammates. He was enjoying the opportunity that he had that wasn't promised to him, right? We didn't promise that to him, but he went out and he led and he did all the things necessary to put himself in a position to do that. And he ate that up. He enjoyed that. He loved it, and it didn't control him. It didn't control his life. And so I loved seeing that too, just his attitude.
Yeah, NEEFY, as a defense, I mean, offense and defense, obviously we speak different languages, obviously one team. Defensively, I was next to the defensive area of the sideline, and there was real tears, man, real emotion. And just as a former starter and one of the captains of the defense, do you think that there's going to be added pressure on the defense to go out there and pitch, darn near shutout ball to take the pressure off the offense? Do you feel like there's going to be added pressure on the defense this week to step up and play for 13?
If it was any game other than Florida, yes, but we want to shut them out every year anyway. So it's like now it's. I mean, we're already at maximum, and now you gave us more ammo. So it's like, all right, well, somebody got to pay. Somebody got to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna play with their hair on fire. I'm pretty sure they're gonna play with their hair on fire for their quarterback. The love that they have for Travis, that's gonna get transposed onto UF, and so I'm pretty sure some folks over there are gonna be sorry that, hey man, what do we do to y'all? What did we do to y'all? we didn't tackle him. We didn't tackle him. That was Alabama, North Alabama, and so.
I don't think people truly appreciate how unselfish Jordan is. Like, Jordan would rather anybody else take the guidelines or headlines or excitement. I mean, he gets more excited about other people doing good, whether it's offense or defense. Doesn't matter who it is. I've never seen a kid outside of Wart Dunn that was like Jordan, that just appreciates what somebody else's glory is. And that's why there was such emotion with him, because they deeply care for. They will, whatever they got to do for this guy, they would do it. And so now they're going to have an edge to him even higher. I just can't say enough about the dude, but Jordan. I think he's one of the best kids I've dealt with. I've known him since he was in the 9th grade when he played at Benjamin High School. Ironically, his coach was Eric Kresser, who's the quarterback at Florida that I knew. And Eric told me before I'd even met Jordan, he's like, Mike, this guy is unique. He's special. The leadership you'll see with him is on another level. And I was like, oh, okay. I hear that a lot. And then you get around it and you're like, man, this dude is everything he said he was. And I just can't say enough about the impact of what Jordan has to this FSU program. Yeah, you're not playing anymore, but your impact's still there. So they still need you. They still need you to be a part of who you are. And as long as you're there, you're only going to help.
Yeah, and I think this is a moment to I think Coach Norvell is built for this, and I think he's built us for this. The talk has always been about we're a program again. KEZ, when you were there, we were a program. NEEF, that class that you guys had helped us become a program again, because we lost our way between 05 and 09. We did. I think my senior year, we went 7-6. That's right around the time I got a little starting spot on special teams. And I can tell you that last game that Bobby played, it's a lot of emotion, and we treated it like a championship game. We played a better team. West Virginia was better than us, but we stepped up and we played because that pride kicked in. And the emotion can't show up in Gainesville when you get off the bus. You can't want to try real hard, when the ball's kicked off. The emotion in being about your business and not just being words, being action starts right now. It's Tuesday. Are you in the film room? Are you doing everything possible to put yourself in a positive situation come Saturday, so that we can go out there? And it's not just about Travis. He's going to be a big part of the storyline, but it's about Florida State. It's about putting it back where, everybody that's sitting here on this telecast has worked, in some more prominent roles than other, but have worked your tail off to try to put that Florida State name, where it needs to be. And we have an opportunity to do that. But, it started Saturday night, started Sunday, started yesterday, continues today, Wednesday, Thursday. You can't show up off the bus and be like, okay, I'm ready now. Put me in. No, the work starts now. You got to put yourself in position. And I just hope that this team is doing that. I hope we're not just saying, we're a band of brothers and we're going to play for 13. I hope that we're positioning ourselves because we are a better team. We have more depth. We have a program. Tate can make throws. Wide receivers can make plays. And I really want to see some smiles, Saturday evening. And I want to see some No Nation happy. I really want to see that. So that's all we got, guys. It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to have you guys back on again. KEZ, thank you. This is your first show, and it was awesome. NEEFY, again, you're like a veteran now, man. We might have to call it the Mike Rico and NEEFY show or something. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Look forward to getting you guys back on. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Nobody burned down the doggone kitchen, okay? it just be there. If you got to be a helping hand, be a helping hand. If you get tasked with cooking something, just try to do your best. I know Diane's gonna keep you in line, Mike. So
yeah, I don't have to do anything. We have a special tradition where we go to Crawfordville, Florida, and we have fish on Thanksgiving because that's kind of goes back to our ancestors way back, and then we have turkey on the Friday. So I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to catch the fish. The fish are already caught. They're a mullet, so I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to let Diane tell me everything and where I need to be. KEZ knows all about that. When you're married, you just go wherever they tell you to go. That's it.
All right, gentlemen. Well, this has been a pleasure. Happy Thanksgiving week, and we will be seeing you guys again Saturday night. Let's hope that we get it done.
Go Noles. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Guys.